Hi. Hi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm also great.
This
So
is
we
being
got to know you
recorded.
were traveling today. You really had a hectic schedule.
Pardon?
I was saying I got to know you were traveling today. You really got a hectic schedule.
Yeah. So I came back to Bangalore to my home today
Okay.
morning itself. The
Yeah.
traffic was there was too much traffic, so it took me 2.5 hours to come from the airport to my own place. So the whole flight from Delhi to Bangalore was 2.5 hours, and from the airport to my place was 2.5 hours more. So
This traffic sucks.
interesting times.
Really, this traffic sucks actually.
Yeah,
And
indeed.
well, it's really great to see you here with us in this journey of our Tech a Month 3.0. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and on behalf of Chandigarh University and the IEEE Chandigarh University Student Branch, we welcome you inside this session. And well, we have students from Chandigarh University and the members of IEEE and from other universities as well will be will be there in this session. And it's
Awesome.
really great having you here. Yes. And yeah, well, Shruti will tell you about tell you and everyone about the Tech a Month and how we are taking it in this year, Tech a Month third version actually. We had two versions.
Right.
Yeah, Shruti, can you please tell us?
Yeah, surely. Let's talk about it once the video is played. So, can I please request the video to be played at once? Like, launch video.
Just give me a minute, okay?
I'm sharing my screen.
Sure. Yes. So Shruti, you can.
Is the screen
Okay.
visible?
Yes. Okay. So this is the video. This is the trailer of a Tech a Month. Tech a Month, sorry.
Awesome. Looks pretty exciting.
It
This
is.
reminds me of my own time when I was in BITS. We used to have a technical fest over there as well. So awesome.
Okay. Hmm. No, and we are really happy to have you in this our journey of Tech a Month 3.0. No?
Hmm. Thank you
And
so much for inviting me.
it's our pleasure actually. So Shruti, can you please begin?
Yeah, let's start with the session. So, very pleasant evening to one and all present here. So, we have our guest for the day, Ishan Sharma, with us. So, can I expect a virtual clap, please? Obviously, we can't do that, right? So, this is your host, Shruti Guhar and Lakshya Chavla, welcoming you all who have gathered here to grace this session of Journey to Entrepreneurship with Ishan Sharma. So, on behalf of IEEE Chandigarh University Student Branch, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all here. So about Tech a Month, it's aligned with the vision of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, that is co-sponsored under the project Spices and the AGs of the Tech Invent, that is Asia's largest technical event. So Tech a Month 3.0 provides a chance to reimagine, recreate, and reposition our exciting month-long flagship event, which will consist of a series of 30 plus sessions, including expert talks, workshops in domains like web development, machine learning, blockchain, cybersecurity, research, patents, and career planning. Along with that, we have fun activities, visitathons, treasure hunt, cultural night, and much more. So let's start with the welcome address by our chairperson of Computer Society, that is Webber Singh. So may we please have you in front?
Yes, Vibhu, sir.
So, hi everyone, warm good evening and welcome from my side. Ishan, it's really very much big honor for all of us that big talent is with us, and definitely a warm welcome from our side. And definitely, I believe that this session will be really an interactive one. People will be really enjoying it because we are having one of the biggest YouTubers, I should say, and the person who has done a lot in his early ages only. When people are thinking that where to go and what to pursue further. So we believe that the session will be really the most loving one. So once again, a heartiest welcome from all of us on behalf of IEEE Chandigarh University, and over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me over here. I hope whatever we talk about today is going to be valuable to the people who are watching this. 134 people we have over here. Let's begin.
And well, actually, let me introduce to everyone. Well, you don't need an introduction actually. Well, today, who's that person who doesn't know Ishan? Like, you are the man who just redefined the entrepreneurial journey actually. Like, okay, well, Ishan is a YouTuber with 522 plus K plus subscribers, and he posts videos about entrepreneurships, tech, coding, investing, and much more. He is a founder and CEO of MarketUp, which is a startup, and a lot more you can learn in this session actually. Also,
This list not gonna end.
List is not going to end actually.
Not gonna end, yeah.
And we don't have any age difference as such. Ishan is of our age only, and we can learn a lot from him. He is just like a big bhaiya.
Not even a big bhaiya. I was supposed to be in third year right now. So
Okay, you're in third year. Okay, so
yeah, I would have been going into fourth year right now itself.
Okay,
So
fine.
next month I would have joined if I were in my college, which I'm not. So yeah.
Great. And this will be an amazing session. All the participants, this is really going to be an amazing session, which you all will enjoy. So Ishan, over to you. Stage is all yours.
Sure. Like, what do you want to talk about exactly?
Okay, fine. So can you just tell us all about your entrepreneurial journey? How you begin that in your early ages? Like, I have seen your videos on YouTube. I know everything, but I want you to tell all the participants about it.
Sure, let's do that. So, when I first got into my college, I always wanted to get into the IITs. That was my dream. I worked really hard for that. I was in Mumbai for the whole year when I was in 12th grade, and I was doing this integrated learning program. I worked really hard. I used to go out from my house at 7 o'clock in the morning, get back by 8 o'clock in the night. And I used to eat like vada pav, like the most traditional, typical stuff that you would get in Mumbai. So, that was a really hard time in my life. I lost like 20 kgs of my weight just because of not eating properly, just because of traveling too much, eating unhealthy, So that was not the best part of my life. Then what happened was that I gave the IIT JEE exam, and I knew that मतलब एक अंदर से फीलिंग आ जाती है राइट कि ये नहीं हुआ कुछ रह गया राइट so I just messed up the paper that day. JEE Advanced, JEE Mains I cleared. JEE Advanced, the day that JEE Advanced exam ended, I started learning to program, right? So I just got myself a course from Udemy and I started learning about Python. And my goal was to never look back at whatever has happened in my life so far and, sort of reinvent my life, start from scratch. New beginnings, right? Because I was sure about one thing, that no matter what ranks I would get, I would never give another year of my life to this race of getting into a better engineering college. Because I just thought that this time that I have with me right now is much more valuable and I should spend it elsewhere. And that's where I also gave BITSAT, I gave VITI as well. I decided to go ahead with BITS Pilani Goa campus and I got electrical engineering over there. Now, what happened is that when I entered college, the first month, सब लोग chill कर रहे थे, right? मतलब parents are not there, you're all alone by yourself. So people were just having fun, and we were in Goa, right? So double fun. So I realized that I did not achieve what I wanted to achieve, and so there was potential unexpressed that I wanted to, work on. I wanted to work on myself. I wanted to redefine my skills, and so that's what I did. The first month, while everyone was going out on the beaches, and everyone was, having the time of their lives, I was working and trying to figure out how can I learn skills that would make me more valuable to someone. how can I offer more value to someone? That was my thought when I was in my first year. And after that, after 6 to 7 months, we went back to our home. This was winter vacations. That's when I thought about trying to start something of my own. I used to read a lot about, I used to watch a lot of podcasts by Lewis Howes, by Jay Shetty, On Purpose podcast. And I also used to consume a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk, right? So prior to December 2019, actually, I did not have any social media accounts. I was not on social, right? Like you could not find me over there. And my whole reality and my whole thought process was that social media is not good for my health, so I will not consume it, which I still stand by. What I did, however, was I learned the opportunity that social media can create for me, right? And I learned that by consuming and learning about the journeys of all the people that have done stuff on social before, right? And so I understood what they've done and I started to just share whatever it is that I'm learning, documenting the journey. That's what all will tell you. So I did that. And I also realized that I'm not so good at expressing myself. There was a hackathon in which I took part, 24 hours, you need to build something interesting. I built something up. I had some command over machine learning. So I built a simple model which could predict the poses. So basically, like it could predict the joints of your bones, right? So if it can detect this nose, right? All the areas from a video. So that is what I created. But I was not able to explain it and how it would work, how it would be helpful to someone in the time of when I was showing it to the judges, right? So that was a point in my life where I was like, कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? Like I spent 24 hours and I could not explain what have I actually built and how can this be helpful to someone. I was not able to sell the idea. So that day I went back. I had my probability and statistics exam next day, and I didn't prepare much for it. So I was like, "Yeah, अभी क्या prepare कर लूँगा रात को बैठ के." So I was laying on my bed and I was like, why not I start like a podcast in which I interview all of these people, in which I talk to all the people who are in my college who are doing something interesting. I document their journey and I share it with everyone. क्योंकि आज के time में people information is available, but people don't know कि like what all is possible, right? Like you would not expect a second year student in college getting invited for a 6 month long internship, research internship in Harvard, and all expenses paid and getting paid to live there on top, stipend, right? No one would think that that is possible, but that is possible. And that's who I talked to, right? Sharat Chitlangia from my own college. I interviewed that guy on my channel. Brilliant person. He has worked on building AI machine learning models from a very long time. So he was sharing his journey over there. He shared how he cracked GSOC as well. So there are various people who I invited in the first few podcasts who are in my college. Try to speak to them, try to understand how to take up a conversation. How does storytelling really work? How do I edit a video? I used to do everything myself when I was first getting started. For the next 2 years, I was doing it myself. I recently outsourced my stuff by hiring some people, which is actually a good decision when you are trying to scale things. But what happened later on was that I got back to my home, right, because of the pandemic. And that gave me even more freedom to focus on my YouTube channel. What kept me going was that I just really enjoyed the process of creating a video. It didn't make me any money. It didn't make me any money for the first 7 to 8 months, but I kept at it because I enjoyed it, right? I would do it for free as well. And so moving on, I started just putting all of my energy into learning about how YouTube platform works. How does video content really work? How do people consume video in India, right? I started my podcast on Spotify. I realized that most people don't know what is a Spotify podcast, but people do know what YouTube is. And so I transferred from the Spotify platform to YouTube, thereby increasing my reach, visibility, basically. So moving on, I just worked on my YouTube channel, grew it. Right now it's at 550,000, 520,000 subscribers or something, 5 crore views. And, I was always focused on putting out one video every 2 days. That is a promise I made to myself when I first started YouTube 2 years ago, January 2020, right? And with the pandemic, things got a lot easier because I was at my home, had more time in my hand. So that's the promise I've kept even till this date, and it gives me immense confidence. कि ठीक है, अगर if this video didn't work, I'm anyways putting out the next video that should work. So, that's basically what my journey has been. I used to get a lot of offers from companies saying that, hey, you've grown your YouTube channel. We would want you to grow our YouTube channels as well. So here's an offer. Come work with us as a content strategist. And I could have gone with one of those, and I could have had just a simple life, or I decided that it would be cool if I could, call a bunch of my friends and start an agency and work with all of these people together, right? Offer the services to all of them together, learn how hiring really works, learn how a company is created, learn how value is created. So that was my thought process. February to 2021, we started Market Up. That's a agency that will be basically helping startups and influencers grow on Instagram and YouTube. And I knew a lot more about how YouTube really works. And my friend, who is my roommate and my co-founder, he knows a lot about how Instagram works. So we both started together. And today, right now, we have 25 people working with us, completely remote team. Don't have any offices. And we are able to sustain everything. We have 15 clients right now, and we're trying to grow and expand right now. So yeah, that's a bit of an intro. Maybe this was a bit too long for you, but that's how the story was.
Actually, it is really great. Actually, I just got goosebumps, dude. Really great.
Lakshya, sorry to stop you. Guys, I'll be requesting all the participants, if you all can switch on your videos, this will be really a big thing for all of us, so that we can see your lovely faces and interact with each other.
It's an interactive session, dude. Come on.
And you can gain so many good insights from one of the youngest YouTuber, I should say, a fan. Definitely is having a big fan following. So this will be really great opportunity for all of us to learn so many things from him. So Ishan, I would like to ask the second question. If Ishan Sharma would have not opted for YouTube, what was the other option for him?
If not YouTube, I would have anyways went ahead with the social media agency, right? That was always the dream. I was always learning about software development. And so if not YouTube, it would have been software development and learning about social media. I'm always curious about how these platforms work and how are they able to keep you hooked, right? So I love learning about just reading these case studies of platforms and how they use your attention and how they make money doing so. There's a book that everyone should read called as Hooked by Nirial, and that will give you a lot of insights about the same.
Amazing. I agree that one.
Guys, I think that software development is like the best job that you can get, because if you work with like big companies, you don't have to work all the time, and you can spend more time doing other things, exploring other options. I have a bunch of my friends who are software developers and who are also YouTube creators, and they're able to manage everything just because there's not a lot of load that you have when you are working in a big corporate like Microsoft or Amazon or whatever it is that you say. So that helps out a lot.
Amazing. Okay, so one question by me, like during this college journey, every parent says like, beta study se focus kar, kahan laga hua hai, kuch nahi rakha. Agar if anyone has a mood to do like this kind of entrepreneurship, kind of start its own startup, like I'm also like running my startup actually. Right now, I'm working on my startup, kind of a cyber security one. So how to deal with that parent pressure actually? How you dealt with it?
But
parents telling you to study.
Ishan, sorry to stop you. Can you just please repeat the name of book, because the audience are asking the name of book you said just now.
It's called Hooked by Nir Eyal. It's right here. This is the book that you should get. Hooked by Nir Eyal.
You people can take a screenshot of it, right? So it's definitely the best book you can. Yeah, please go ahead with your answer.
What was the question?
Yes.
Oh yeah. We were talking about parental pressure, right? Parental pressure. Yeah. So basically, what happened was that because I was focusing a lot more on building my YouTube channel in 2020, my parents were seeing that I was not really attending all of the lectures, right? And it's a lot easier to bunk lectures when it is online. So they were trying to tell me कि ये क्या कर रहे हैं, ये सब क्या करते रहे, right? I literally know my mom coming to my room, sitting with me on my bed while I was about to sleep and telling me in front of my face. सब छोड़ दे अपनी पढ़ाई पे focus कर, right? That was their mindset. But slowly what they realized was that I was too committed to it, right? I would just not leave it. I had this fixed deadline that I will have to get one video out every 2 days, and I would do anything that is in my ability to do to get stuff done. So that was my mindset, and I realized that कि मतलब एक will होती है, right? मतलब you cannot learn that will. You can learn a skill, but you cannot learn the will to do something. That just comes from inside, right? लोग बोलते हैं ना motivation चाहिए. कुछ नहीं होता motivation से, right? Motivation video देख लोगे, you'll work for 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 week. But because unless you have that inner desire to like build something big and have that, नींद ही नहीं आती यार, मतलब, and मतलब, right? मतलब, it is so deep, I can't even express it right now in front of you. It's just that desire I had to build something big and just learn as many things as possible, offer value to people. And I was inspired by people that have come before me. Aman Dattarwal has been a big motivation when I was getting started. Just give me a minute. Yeah.
So, Ishan, the next question is from my side. If you get into IIT, somehow you get into IIT, so will you be still doing this YouTube thing, or you gonna try something in the other fields?
If I would have gotten into an IIT, would I have tried YouTube?
Yes.
No, I would not have tried YouTube, because my goal when I was 18 was to get into an IIT. So when you get something, you become a little comfortable. Now, I am just giving you an assumption that might happen, because like, you just feel that you haven't proven anything to yourself. You always have that thing. That's why when I talk to unicorn founders, right? I recently talked with a bunch of founders of billion-dollar startups, and what they were telling me is that we love hiring people from tier 3, tier 4 colleges. And मैंने पूछा ऐसा क्यों? आपको IITM नहीं चाहिए? आपको IIM नहीं चाहिए? बोलते हैं कि नहीं. मतलब ऐसा क्यों? तो इसलिए कि because those people have that hunger, they have that fire to prove themselves, right? And so they'll work every waking hour to prove themselves. They'll have that hunger that someone else might not have. I'm not saying that IITians are not good. I'm just making it's not right to make a broad assumption like that, but I'm just giving you an example of how things work. So yeah, I would not have, I would have just done what everyone else was doing, right? But when I got into bits, I was like, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ अपनी life में, right? मतलब the fees is so crazy. It's like 25 lakhs.
Exactly.
It makes no freaking sense. Makes no sense. So I just thought that my parents are paying this hefty fees, like, and it was all because of me. Because I could not get into an IIT, so they now have to pay this fees, and they are unhappy with me, and I am unhappy with myself. So that's basically how it was.
So there's a question in the chat section, Ishan. Basically, I would like to interpret the question. Basically, he wants to know that in our India also we say that when people are financially independent, then only they pursue for entrepreneurship. They basically start searching for startups and all. So how would you like to justify this statement, or how do you see this statement? If we are financially independent, then only we can go for entrepreneurship.
I think it depends on what you're trying to build. So for example, let's say you're trying to build a tech startup, right? The things that are required to build a tech startup are minimal right now. It doesn't cost you lakhs of rupees to make a simple website. You can do that on WordPress. You can do that on Elementor. There are different things that you can do, right? I'm just trying to give you an example. So the barrier to entry is quite low when you're building a tech startup, versus let's just say you're trying to build like some robotics hardware type business, in which case you would require a lot of cash. In that situation, you should approach to there are different what do you call them? There are different organizations that will help you give some cash so that you can start to build something interesting. This idea that you should only start something once you have that financial stability is illogical, because I'll tell you, you will never have the financial security if you don't have it right now. Because as you start to make more money, your standards increase, right? If right now you are okay with living in an Oyo townhouse, maybe let's just say your income goes 3x, you're like, yeah, मैं लीला से नीचे या ताज से नीचे थोड़ी रहूंगा, right? And you're the same poor guy, because previously if you were making X and you were spending Y, right now you're making 3x, you are spending 3Y. Right? You understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes, yes.
So that's the mindset that you would have if you think about things in this sense. And it's not hard, like I've talked with all of these people who have built giant businesses, right? Like billions of dollars of valuations have been created by people who have gotten started. They did not have, crores in their bank account. They just had enough money to sustain themselves, and they were trying to go all in. Yesterday, I was talking with the founder of Pristine Care, Harsiman Bin. Right? So what that guy was saying was that I went all in with Pristine Care. He deployed all of his cash, and then he approached Abhiraj, who is the co-founder of Urban Clap, his friend. And he just told him that, hey, I'm building this startup. We have X amount of revenue. I have deployed all of my cash that I have, and we want this thing to work. And because that guy saw that this person is crazy, of course, you have to be crazy if you're trying to build something, and you have deployed all of your cash and you really want this thing to work, he will try his best to help you out as well. Right? So, again, as I said, right, if you're trying to build something that is based on tech, you don't really need to spend a lot of money. You can do simple sprints, or product sprints, right, in which you can build something, launch it on Product Hunt. You can publicize it on Reddit or other platforms, Twitter. Try to see how viral it can actually go. Try to learn about how can you create virality in your product by inviting other people, rewarding people for inviting other people, creating platforms or apps in which there is a need of multiplayer dynamics. So a single person cannot use it, so they will have to invite other people, and they might invite other people, so that chain needs to be created. There are different models that one should learn about when they're trying to go about this.
That's really clear. Actually, we have a question from my friend Moktek. He has in the session only. I'll ask him to unmute. Yes, Moktek.
Thank you, Lakshay. So firstly, Shan, you're doing an awesome work right now. And so my question is like, you are constantly like uploading content on YouTube and all of these platforms, and you're observing like which content should, am I audible?
You are audible. You are audible.
So, and you observe like which content should come at which timing, like you like actually sometimes your content is like it hits on the right time and you got the views. So my question is like, currently, if you observe like what is the trending area someone wishes to, let's suppose, start a YouTube channel. Like there was a phase when a lot of edtech startups were like starting out, or edtech content were like coming out on YouTube. So at present, what do you think the present scenario of YouTube that someone wishes to start, that okay, you should start in this particular area, you should create content in this particular area, and this would like literally rise up in the coming future, or like that. And I have also one follow-up question to this. Yeah, can I go on with that?
Yeah, please.
So it is key, if let's suppose you are like creating a podcast and all of these things, what is your next step? Like, are you like willing to continue with the same thing which you are doing? Obviously you would change some things, but are you willing to do this podcasting only, or are you willing to like change to something really new which you haven't yet explored on YouTube, on your channel? There is a follow-up question.
Right. What is the trending topic or the niche should go for? I think it has to be you. You are the niche. That's how it should be. Right? If you want to be a creator that can sustain on this platform, you have to become the trend. Right? Like if you look at people, Saurabh Joshi, what does he do? I don't know much about him, but I think he paints, right? He likes painting and all. He used to paint. I'm not sure. I haven't watched his content, but people watch him because of his personality, I think, and the type of vlogs he creates. People watch Dhruv Rathi vlogs in which he just travels and talks about stuff because they like their personality and the things that that guy is doing in the life. So you need to be yourself and try to see how can you put out a story in front of the people that they will enjoy, right? So a story of a student who dropped out and who is trying to explore life, travel to different places, meet unicorn founders, meet creators, and share his or her learnings turns out to be interesting to people. That's why they watch my videos. So that's how you should approach things, and not from the side of कि फाइनेंस के कंटेंट बनाना चाहिए या फिर फ्रीलांसिंग पे कंटेंट बनाना चाहिए या फिर हाउ टू मेक मनी पे कंटेंट बनाना चाहिए. इट जस्ट डिपेंड्स on you particularly and what you like to do, right? That's how you should approach things, because once people get attached to you and your personality, you will never run out of content ideas, right? So you will see this happen every time. Flying Beast or someone, he's just putting out a random vlog, random day in his life, doing nothing too crazy, right? But people watch it, just like 3, 4, 5 million views, right? So that's how I think about things. And I learned about this later in my journey. I didn't know about it when I was first getting started. I thought that, as you said, right, I need to find that niche. I need to follow the trend. I need to वो था ना बहती गंगा में हाथ धो लो वाला काम. So that stuff was there, but I have learned how things work because I've interacted with people, because I have experienced some things in my own journey. That was question number 1. Question number 2. What was the question exactly?
Hello.
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. So second question was that if you would like to switch now, you obviously, like, I don't know that
I would do vlogs in which there's more storytelling. Like, I love videos created by Tharun Speaks, right? He's a great friend of mine. And I just love the storytelling element in the video editing that he puts in. Huge effort goes into creating a video like that, right? The frequency at which I am at, I might not be able to go to that level, but I want to certainly experiment and see how things can go forward. So that's basically what I feel about that. But yeah, I think storytelling is what I need to do more about. That's what I did with the help of, I recently made a vlog or like just a story time video of me going back to my college.
Yeah.
So that was a effort in that direction. Of course, it's not perfect. It's far from ideal, but I'm trying to get there slowly but steadily.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Lakshya, so moving to the next part of the section, we'll be asking participants, those who want to directly interact with the speaker, they can raise their hand. Dhruv, you want to ask any question?
Persons are already there. One is Dhruv Garg and one has joined with his UID. Okay, I don't know the name. Okay, Dhruv, do you want to interact? Yes. I'll just ask you to unmute. Fine. Please unmute.
Hello. Am I audible?
Hi, Dhruv. Yes, you're audible. How are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm doing well as well.
Yes. So I have one question: that should we carry on our family business only, or should we start our own that we like?
Depends, yeah. Depends on what you want to do. Depends on what you like to do.
Okay.
There's no right or wrong answer in this situation. If you like your family business, if you like the business, if you know a lot about that business, then you should do that. If you like something else, then you should do that.
Okay.
Right? There's no clear-cut answer that I can give you because I don't know about the nuances about your life particularly, but you know it better than anyone else. So take the decision properly.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Welcome.
one thing I would like to comment that life में अगर risk नहीं लिया तो क्या किया?
हाँ मतलब वो है, but मतलब these things are often said, मतलब बोलने में आ जाती हैं, but implementation is not always that easy. So ठीक है, risk है तो इश्क.
Okay, so Ansh is there. Yes, Ansh, please unmute.
Yep. Hi, Ishan. Like, I am a big follower of yours. Like,
I'm sure audio is
for a
repeating.
long time.
It's echoing.
Just a sec. Let me finish.
Can you please fix it? Till then we can have other questions.
Is it fine now?
It's still.
You can go ahead with the question.
Okay. So I've been following you for a long time, and I have a bunch of questions, but as I don't think that we have a lot of time, so I will just go quick. I watch you all the time on YouTube. You are an entrepreneur, obviously. Like you are way ahead in entrepreneurship. But I really like the way you speak, the art of storytelling. How did you went into that? If I compare your first video and today's video, I see like exponential change. If I would compare, what are your views on that side in the content creation side? How
How
did
did I
you?
learn storytelling? And what was the other thing? Are you able to
Yes,
continue?
yes, okay, yes. So, how did you like from content creation to like starting market up? I have a follow-up question to that too. So when you started market up, there are a lot of agencies still, right? So market up, what is unique about market up according to you? And how did you jump into the agency business? And you are way ahead of like just in 1 year, you are way ahead as we expect a new startup to be. So what was
Marketup
your
is not a
background like?
startup. Marketup is not a startup. It's a proper dhanda, right? It's not a startup. It's nothing sexy. It's just a simple uh, service-based, company in which what we do is I have the brand. I reach out to these people who are running startups, and I tell them that, hey, I have grown my channel 5 crore views, 500,000 subscribers. I have grown numerous other channels as well, and this is the value that I can offer to you. Why? Because I have learned a lot about how the coding industry works, what type of videos in the coding field gets views. For example, let's just say we are pitching to a coding brand, right? All the coding ad techs that you can think about. So that's how I pitch to them. If I'm pitching, let's just say a fintech brand, so I've also learned about how finance works on YouTube. That's just because I've spent a lot of time on YouTube and I know how the platform really works and what type of content would work in a particular niche. So what I would do is I have my brand. The differentiating factor of MarketUp is that I am over there, right? People will trust me not because I have great editors, but because I have proven it myself, right? So that's the main factor. The reason we are able to talk with corporates which are valued at like billions and billions of dollars was purely because of the results that I personally have on my own channel and the word of mouth marketing that the current clients have. So that's basically how things worked out for me from मार्केट अप एंड कैसे स्टार्ट किया मतलब ऐसे ही सोच लिया कि मतलब कुछ साथ में करते हैं मतलब अकेले करके कितना ही आगे जाऊंगा आई वाज वर्किंग एज अ सोल फ्रीलांसर बट आई रियलाइज दैट इट्स मच बेटर टू वर्क टुगेदर right? That combined teamwork is lacking, was lacking when I was back in 2020 late December time. So I thought I want to fix that, and the best way to fix that was with the help of coming together with a bunch of my friends, hiring people, and learning how everything works. It was purely an experiment. I did it because I wanted to learn how all of these things work, right? And it turned out to be a really nice thing. So that's basically so. And also, this is like a proper business, right? This is nothing to do with like startup or something like that. We make profit, distribute the profit, we move ahead. That's how it works. We don't need funding. None of that stuff is required because we get paid and then we pay the freelancer and we make the difference. That's how it works.
And
What
also,
was
I
the previous question?
it was about storytelling. I have
Storytelling,
another
right.
question.
Storytelling. Let's do
Yes.
one by one. Storytelling. How did I learn storytelling? I am still not great at it. I am still learning. I just practice a lot, right? So before I record a video, I play that video in my own head. Try to think about what can I exactly say in this video that will make it maybe funny or a certain emotion that I want to be created in the minds of people who are watching that video, right? So that's what I figure out. And I've watched so many, I've learned from a lot of people, like YouTube is the best place. I have learned a lot from Prakhar Ke Pravachan YouTube channel. Absolutely amazing place if you want to learn about communication, right? The Art of Conversation, the program that he has, loved it. And so in general, I have read and I have practiced a lot, right? Like this is not my, I have made 600 videos in the last 2 years, right? So I have learned how to articulate things, how to speak in the moment and not be like कि मैं पूरी script लिखूंगा फिर बात करने जाऊंगा फिर मैं कहीं अटक जाऊंगा वापस speech देखूंगा वापस बोलूंगा ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, right? So I just speak from my heart and people seem to enjoy it.
That's the art.
और बताओ.
Yep. So last question is recently in few videos you said that you are working on a product, right? Like your future plans are like to create a product and like a startup or something. I don't know exactly what is in your mind, but a product. So what kind of product you are thinking about? Like when you said that a product, what was in your mind?
So there is no one thing that is in my mind. I have thoughts of building various different things and trying to understand what works and what doesn't. So there are various projects that we are working on right now. We hired one developer who's working with us, just trying to build the MVP and see if it's really possible, if we can go ahead with it. We are trying to experiment to build a few tools in the creator economy. That's one thing. We were trying to build like a social media platform for freelancers as well. So various different things, right? We ditch ideas as well. So if you would have watched that video in which I'm talking with Rishi Magada and I'm talking with Sushant Bindal in Third Wave in Bangalore. So in that situation, I talked about building this one place for freelancers, right? Something like that I was working on. I'm not working on that right now because I talked with people who were in that field and I learned about this particular field in general. What we realized was that people in India who are freelancers don't have the residual income to actually pay in higher numbers, right? And because of that, I will need to go to the US markets and then work over there. It's a very competitive field, and so I just thought it would be better for us to properly strategize everything and maybe think about different models. That was basically the idea. We talked with a bunch of founders who are building something similar in the same niche, so that's how I got to know about that. So it's best to learn from people who are already there in that field and what struggles are they experiencing, and if you are okay going through the same struggles or not. So that's what I would say, and it keeps on changing, right? Like recently, I had this idea of making like a habit tracker that would help people be more productive. And I realized that people in India in general don't want to be productive, right? Like if you would have listened to that podcast of Kunal Shah in which he's talking about human motivations and how the Indian consumer really behaves. Brilliant podcast, 2.5 hours. It'll be the best 2.5 hours that you've ever spent in your college life if you listen to that podcast on the Knowledge Project in which he talks about all of these things. And basically, he said that I've seen people who are in flights in India, and in the whole 1 or 2 hours in which the flight is, in the air, what they are doing is that they're taking their phone and they're trying to clear the storage so that they can have more photos. They are deleting the good morning messages and all that. Versus people who are in the West are trying to learn something. The general outlook, that's how it is, right? So that's the mindset people have. I'm not saying that it is good or it is bad. I'm just reporting. I'm just sharing, right? So that's basically what you should think about, and it will keep on changing. I'm trying to figure out what works and what doesn't.
So coming to the next phase of this session and making more interactive, we are having a surprise element for you, Ishan. Basically, that's rapid fire round. We're going to have with you.
Let's do it.
So we'll be going ahead with few of the questions. So participants, how many of you are excited for the rapid fire round? Just use hashtag Tekaman 3.0 in the chat section. Come on, guys, we want to see you. And guys, sorry for stopping you. We'll be conducting the Q&A after this also. So I can see so many Tekaman 3.0. Chalo, jaldi.
काम कर दो.
Okay, so.
Are you excited?
Oh my God.
Tekaman in the chat.
No.
Yeah. There's a person who wrote TAM 3.0. That's great.
पूरा लिखना है, ऐसे नहीं काम चलता.
Okay, so Ishan, the first question for you is basically, what is your most useless talent?
What's my most useless talent?
I believe the talented people will have to think a lot about it.
No, tabla. It doesn't. I learned to play tabla. And it's of no use to me right now because I'm doing something else altogether and I don't get the time. I have a tabla lying around with me, but I cannot do it regularly. So that's one thing.
Okay, great. So are you a coffee or a tea or a milk person?
I like to have neither. I like to have protein shake.
That's great. So are you a book reader or a movie watcher?
I would much rather be a book reader than a movie watcher.
Okay. Have you ever been to a live concert?
I have. It was fun. When I was in Hyderabad, there was one concert happening over there. It was nice.
Great. So who is your favorite actor and actress?
I don't have favorites. Sub scammer.
That's cool. So which book do you love the most?
Which book I love the most? There's this book by Ben Horowitz called as The Hard Thing About Hard Things. And I think that's a great book if someone wants to get into entrepreneurship. And in general, it gave me a lot of reality checks. You know, the hardships that you face while building a company and hiring people. That's what I love the most about that book.
Okay, wonderful. So what would Ishan do with $1 million?
$1 million? I don't have it right now, so I can't tell you what would I do.
Just let's imagine that if you have plenty amount of money with you, what you'll be doing with it?
I would probably do some crazy viral marketing strategy to grow my YouTube channel. I would be like, every person who shares this video will get something. Or I would do like huge meetups in which I would invite as many people as possible and it'll look like a political rally or something.
That's wonderful. That's definitely.
Just imagine that.
It's like Ishan Sharma Netaji.
Bhai aur behno.
Wonderful. So there are many people writing in the chat section. He makes million right now. He's already doing those stuff, bro. Damn, Nick.
I don't, bro, but it'll take time, and I am patient, and ho jayega. Getting there. You all will be the first to know when that happens.
Definitely. So YouTube or a multi-million dollar job?
Job?
Yeah, job or
YouTube.
That's wonderful.
Because YouTube is better in both sense. It can make you multi-million, it can make you multi-billions as well, right? Like Unacademy started out of a YouTube channel itself. So Physics Wala started out of a YouTube channel itself. So there are many examples.
Exactly. Okay, and what's your favorite dish, Ishan?
My favorite dish?
What do you like to eat?
I like to eat aloo paratha with pickle. Aloo pyaz paratha, actually.
Punjabi thing.
Ishan, your favorite destination?
Destination. I love the society in which I recently moved into, just because weather काफी अच्छा है यहाँ का and it has all the amenities. So that's what I love, to always go down right next to the swimming pool and just lay down over there. Whenever I feel stressed, I just go down and just rest over there. So it's a nice place to hang out.
The CEO or founder or any entrepreneur you admire most?
I admire this guy, Bhavin Torakia, a lot. So I recently got to know about what work he has done, and he has been the motivation of people like Kunal Shah. All of these people look up to him. So he is that entrepreneur that not a lot of you would have heard about, because he has always built B2B businesses, but he has built 5 different businesses, exited out of all of them, and built them completely bootstrapped, no funding required, and sold them in hundreds of millions of dollars. So that guy is someone that everyone looks up to, and there's a lot to learn from him.
So, Ishan, what do you do in your free time?
What I do in my free time? I watch some Netflix documentary, or I watch some YouTube documentaries. Recently, YouTube has these amazing YouTube creators who create long, like 30, 40-minute long documentaries about just anything in the world. I also like to learn about a wide array of topics and not just keep myself limited to programming or, whatever it is. So that helps me out a lot.
Okay. And one question from my side, like you told you are from like electronics and electrical engineering college background. So how you came into this programming thing?
Yeah, because as I said, right, when I first started IIT JEE के बाद पहले दिन ही I started learning programming.
Okay.
So I was always into programming. When I was in 10th grade, I was building simple calculators using Java. So that was already there with me. Because IIT JEE came, I had to drop programming, and then I picked it up 2 years later and started with Python, and that's how it went. I didn't like electrical engineering, right? So it was. I actually failed in the first, introductory electrical course. होता ना ES 101 ऐसा कोई course था.
Yes.
I didn't enjoy that particularly, so I failed in that one. But it's all right.
So Ishan, college life or corporate life? And why?
College life is much better because you can hang around with people in the hostels, and hostels is where all the brainstorming happens. Like I had those friends. We would just sit together in just one room, 5 or 6 of us. We would just think about कि ऐसा क्यों हुआ, ऐसा क्यों नहीं हुआ. Just random scenarios we would play in our own head कि अच्छा ये कंपनी ने ऐसा कर लिया, ऐसा क्यों नहीं किया, अच्छा ये क्यों हुआ, ये क्यों नहीं हुआ. So that is going to be a huge learning opportunity for you in general.
So have you ever bunked the classes, Ishan?
All the time, bro. We have 100% we have 0% attendance policy, which means I do not attend any classes. And I used to attend classes when I was in first year, and जैसे ही lockdown लगा, since March 2020, I didn't attend any classes.
Okay, amazing.
That's
Okay,
great.
would you like to share some networking tips for our students?
Networking tips. I would say that you need to have an intent. Don't just go to someone and be like, help me, help me. No one cares, right? I get these messages on LinkedIn. They're like, help me, help me. Bas time hi nahi hai. Ask me a very specific thing that I'm freelancing. I have one client. That client is paying me X. I don't like being paid X for the work I'm doing. What should I do so that this person pays me X.1, X, 2X or something, whatever. Then I could help you because now I have context. Now I know, okay, you are doing this, you've already done this. I can help you in this sense. So that's really important when you're reaching out to someone. Do the challenge in which you reach out to 5 people every single day on call, on message, and on email. So I try to do that. New people every single day. Try to reach out to them. These can be people in your own industry, or in general people outside as well. So just reach out to them, see if there's something that you can help them with, and just in general connect with as many people as possible. That will open up opportunities that you might not even realize right now.
So Ishan, the first thing you do to improvise your communication skills?
I would practice every single day. Just open up your phone and start be like, hi, आज मेरे दिन में ये सब चीजें हुई, ये किया, वो किया. Just speak that every single day, right? You will see a huge shift between day 1 and day 100, for example, right? But you need to be at it every single day, and that will only happen if you have the interior desires to improve your communication skills.
The first book you read?
I think it was one of those Goosebumps books that we used to get, right? Library में Goosebumps पे वो कोई किताब थी. 6th class में था मैं. I think that's when I read a book. But yeah, कुछ भी था वो तो अजीब सा.
Your favorite novel?
My favorite novel, I think it would have to be the Percy Jackson series. Not any one book particularly, but the whole series. Heroes of Olympus, Trials of Apollo. Any book by Eric Riordan is amazing. Like, it's funny and amazing storytelling. And of course, Game of Thrones is an amazing series to go through. Not the video, but the book part I'm talking about.
So there are so many questions coming in the chat section. I'll not be addressing those questions. But for sure, I would like to know something that Ishan ignores all the time.
Yeah.
Something that Ishan ignores all the time.
Something I ignore all the time.
Right.
Hate comments on my channel. I take criticism very much seriously. I'm all in. If you have something to say that ठीक है कि भैया ये ठीक नहीं था वीडियो में, या फिर ये कर सकते थे, या फिर ये ब्रांड प्रमोट नहीं करनी चाहिए. But then there's a line that you cross, at which point you are not giving criticism, you're not helping, you're just trying to boo someone over on the internet, right? So that's the one thing that I ignore all the time, and that you should if you are into content.
So Ishan, there's a generic question I want to ask. being into so young age, you went with entrepreneurship and all. Very less people are having that amount of guts and all in order to enter into the field of entrepreneurship because of financial conditions and all. So how to stay away from distractions, basically? In this generation, people are facing a lot of distraction and they're not able to focus on the things they want to pursue, right? So how to stay away out of it?
How to avoid distractions. So, my friend Kushal Lodha, when he was preparing for CA exam, for 4 entire months, he did not have his phone. He took his phone, went up to his parents' place, and वो phone रख दिया उधर ही. And मुंबई वापस आ गए 4 महीने के लिए. Without the phone, he survived. Zero distractions, just his study, and yeah, that was basically what he did, and he made it. He got like AIR 5, which is huge. So I'm just trying to tell you that you have to either keep your phone away. You need to uninstall some applications. You need to grayscale your screen. You need to have habit trackers. You need to journal every single day. You need to create habits that keep you on your path to success. So that's really important.
Okay, that's great. So we'll be asking, there are a few participants who want to ask question. So Rishabh, I'm unmuting you. So kindly go ahead with the question. Rishabh, I believe I have provided you the option to unmute.
Wait, I'll do that. Sir. Wait. Okay, Rushi Kotak has raised his hand. Let him ask this question. Rushi.
Hello, I'm audible to you.
Hi Rushi. Yes, you're audible.
Hello. तो मैं आपको बहुत पहले से फॉलो कर रहा हूँ और आपको देख के मैंने मतलब फ्रीलांसिंग स्टार्ट किया है एंड जब आपने 1 लाख का वो वीडियो बनाया था ना कि हाउ आई गॉट माय फर्स्ट 1 लाख then I'm about to gain my 60K.
Right. And that's amazing, bro.
And right now like आपका मतलब मैंने 1 करोड़ वाला वीडियो देखा है एंड मैं वर्किंग कर रहा था मतलब कंटिन्यू मतलब मैं यूट्यूब नहीं बनाता, मैं बस फ्रीलांसिंग करता हूँ एंड मेरे काफी क्लाइंट हैं चंडीगढ़ से भी एंड दिल्ली से भी. तो अभी मैं अबाउट टू लाइक 80 to 90K per month बना रहा हूँ.
That's amazing, bro. You should pat yourself on the back and keep going. And that's huge. That's huge.
बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये है कि अभी भी मेरे
What year are you in right now?
हाँ,
कौन से साल में हो? कॉलेज में हो?
Second year.
Second year में 80-90K. That's amazing, bro. You're doing amazing work. Yeah.
तो लाइक अभी मेरे पास सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये है ना कि मेरे पास अभी भी एक टीम नहीं है, लाइक एक प्रॉपर टीम, लाइक मैं सब कुछ अकेले नहीं
टाइम स्पेंड करो on hiring the right set of people, and it will take you a lot of time, right? It will take your entire days trying to hire the right person, and that's completely all right? Like I've talked to all of these people who have built companies and they say that they spend over 80% of their time, right, just on hiring people.
Actually क्या है ना कि when I'm going to hiring someone, उनका like सीधा डिमांड होता है कितना सैलरी मिलेगा and like
नहीं, so you need to find people who trust in you and people who trust in your story more than the money. The people, and you will find them when you will talk to them, right? तो उन लोगों से बात करना स्टार्ट करो and you will realize कि ठीक है, people are not always money minded, right? Like people want to grow with you as well. Find out people who have the will to learn, right? That's really important. Skill अगर इतनी अच्छी नहीं भी हो तो बाद में डेवलप कर जा सकती है, but will एक बहुत important चीज होती है and they should focus on.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna show you one more thing. Like okay, this is what like I made a start. That is my client dashboard. Like अभी मेरे पास currently 3 client है digital marketing के and मेरे पास वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट के कुछ क्लाइंट्स हैं, तो मतलब मैं वो बना रहा हूँ और टारगेट है मेरा कि इस मंथ तक कितना ले जाना है एंड बस वही चल रहा है.
Awesome, bro. बहुत बढ़िया बात है. Always don't focus on the number of clients, focus on the quality of clients. That is also very important because we said no to a lot of clients when we were getting to do calls with them because we wanted to get a higher revenue from every single client. So we said no when we were not getting that. So just focus on that. Just have 10 clients, but have really good high quality clients. And as soon as you get the 11th one, increase your price and tell the previous one, this is the new price. You want to work, then let's continue. If you don't want to work, then let's leave. So that's really important. So that will help you.
Like मैं बस क्लाइंट से एडवांस ले लेता हूँ, जब भी मुझे मैंने उनको कन्विंस करना होता है तो मैं कन्विंस कर लेता हूँ, एडवांस ले लेता हूँ। बट वो क्वालिटी मैनेज कर पाना अकेले में, मतलब सब कुछ सारे क्लाइंट को दे पाना, मतलब बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है मेरे लिए अभी, क्योंकि मैं एडवांस ले लिया, अब अगले महीने वो कंटिन्यू करेंगे कि नहीं करेंगे, मेरे पास ये बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन होता है।
हायर करो ना, हायर करो लोगों को।
ठीक है, थैंक यू।
आउटसोर्स करो चीजें, यू शुड नॉट बी डूइंग एवरीथिंग योरसेल्फ। अभी लाइक मार्केट अप में कोई 5-6 वीडियो लाइव हुई होंगे अभी 1 घंटे में, जिसमें मैं बात करूं। मैंने लाइव नहीं करी, राइट? आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू गाइस, right? Because I have people who do the work so that I can focus on the vision of the company and I can focus on where to take this ship. समझ रहे हो? That's what you should be focusing on.
Thank you.
Very welcome, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
So,
बढ़िया.
next participant is Rushi Kotak.
Guys, it's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock already, so just be wary of that.
Okay.
It's 8:04 right
sure.
now. I need to go have some food as well.
Sure. Hello, Ishan. Firstly, I'm following you since very long. Since I started my freelancing journey, I'm a freelance.
That's amazing.
And thanks to your guide, I got my first 2 clients in last month.
अरे वाह.
And my question is that if I want to, I have approached 2 YouTubers. One was with 10K subscribers, and one was not a YouTuber, but that was a course maker. That was a course for Udemy. That 2 clients I got last month. My question is, if I want to approach big YouTubers like you, what should be my approach? What kind of videos should there be in my portfolio?
Don't have a lot of videos. मैं कई बार देखता हूँ लोगों के पोर्टफोलियो 10-20 वीडियो डाल रखी हैं. अब मुझे क्या पता इसमें से अच्छा वर्क कौन सा है, अच्छा वर्क कौन सा नहीं है, मुझे क्या पसंद. 4 video types. Number 1 is a vlog. Number 2 is a reel edit that you've done for someone, right? Number 3 is going to be a normal video where someone is just sitting and just talking about something. And number 4 is going to be a meme type video, right? In which you have like some memes, कुछ game edit हो रहा है, कुछ जो चलता रहता है, right? So that will give me perspective that okay, you can work on these broad level of videos, or maybe you are only able to edit vlogs. That's what you're into. Then just do that and just tell them that hey, I can edit really good vlogs, because we literally I have 6 editors right now who edit all of my videos. 2 of them are great at editing vlogs. The rest are good at editing normal videos in which I'm just sitting and talking about something. Right? Podcast editing is also a great skill that you should learn. If there's like a video podcast, how can you edit it in a way that it is engaging while not being too distractive from the person who is speaking? So that's also a thing that you should think about. तो ऐसे करके 4-5 वीडियो बनाओ and just make it organized. So that's what I would say.
Thank you so much. I will definitely apply for you.
Please do. Would love to work together.
Thank you, Rushi. Thank you so much. And well, yeah, Ishan rightly said that it's already 8:07. And we are sorry for that extension, really, Ishan.
No issues.
Ishan, if you do allow, can we just go with 2 more questions?
Oh,
2 more questions. जल्दी कर लो.
Achha. So guys, those who want to ask questions, kindly go ahead, please.
Okay, so let me unmute one of the participants. It's Kirsch. I'm muting you. You want to have? You want to ask?
Hello, Ishan.
Hello.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Hi. I've been following you for a very long time, and I personally am the founder and CEO of my own company, Medoc, and we're working a lot towards the health IT sector. My question right now is a little bit more personal over here. Same thing regarding team and everything. You're building a team, but it's a product that I've been working on for the last 6 months, and now it's time. We have to get more people in. So how do you first of all convince people to work on it, and secondly, how do you trust them to give them the product you've been working on for such a long time? To work on it, because when you're working on something so dearly, it's there's always a thing that how do you?
It's like your baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you do is that what I've seen people do is that what does your product do? What is it about?
It's a health IT software. So the product is basically there are 3 applications, and it's regarding that. So it's basically code.
Yeah, right. Understood. So what you do is that you don't just give them the code base or whatever it is that you have. You tell them to develop something that you were thinking to develop yourself, but you don't have the bandwidth for that. So, for example, you're building like a simple course website. What you can do is you can tell them to create a simple you can tell them to create a simple dashboard with which they can fetch some data. They can see for like an affiliator, for like an affiliate publisher, right? Let's just say there's an affiliate person who can sign up in this program, and whatever course they will have, they can get their trackable link and they can see exactly how many sales it's generated. Just tell them.
Yes.
Actually, there's a connection issue at Ishan's end.
Lakshya, after Ishan answers the question, you can go with the end proceedings, right?
Fine. We'll do that as soon as Ishan joins. Till then, guys, we have shared the feedback link form. You may fill it as soon as the session ends. Fine. And please wait for a while. Ishan will be joining us soon. I think he's facing some connectivity issues.
And I've shared the link in the chat box. So
Yes.
till then he rejoins, you can submit the form.
Yes. Again, Shruti has shared. Yes, exactly. Your feedback is valuable to us.
In case of any suggestions or mistakes we did, please let us know.
Am I audible?
Yes, Ishan. Yes.
Yes.
You're audible, loud and clear.
What I was saying was that you need to find out people who believe in the problem and they want to solve it as well, right? Because then you can work with them and they would be equally motivated to contribute to your project, and you give them skin in the game with the help of equity. So people who get started with you, let's just say they are the founding team, should reserve 20 to 30% equity just for them. That this could and just give it deliberately, like be open to sharing as much of the pie as possible, because when you share the pie, more people feel that they are now accountable towards the work that they are doing. So they will put their 101% to make sure that stuff gets done, and when that happens, the whole pie will become larger. So that's what you should think about.
Okay, thank you, Utkarsh. Thank you for your question, and thank you so much, Ishan, for being here with us and addressing all the participants. It was really great having you here.
So before moving to the end of this spectacular session, let me call on Sugandha ma'am. She's our branch counselor of IEEE Chandigarh University Student Branch and Assistant Dean of Co-Curricular Activities and Professional Bodies, for a vote of thanks. So, ma'am.
Am I visible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
You're visible. Okay. Actually, we have invited our Sugandha ma'am. She's our branch counselor and our mentor, and she's the only lady behind the IEEE Chandigarh University Student Branch.
Thank you so much, Lakshya. So, Ishan, thank you so much. Your session was so insightful. Even I got the goosebumps to be an entrepreneur now. Right?
Awesome. Great.
So, sorry for today. My laptop is not working, so I'm through phone only. So, I attended the entire session. So, it's really amazing. You heard each and every step, how you started with, what the things you like, what you don't like. And you actually explained the things very well, how you need to cope up and how you need to build up your team. It's really important. If you have the right team, anything can be possible. So thank you so much. Please accept a small token of appreciation from IEEE USB. And I hope this association will be longer. It's just a beginning, not an end.
Definitely. I look forward to doing more of these in the offline mode. I want to do that because I think that will have a better impact,
yes,
not just these online ones.
This was the next thing I am just about to ask you. So when are you going to join us in offline mode? Since after 2 years, finally we are going into offline mode.
Aap batao, what plans do you guys have? We'll make something happen together.
Our event is open for 1 month. It's take a month.
You need to invite. Bilkul aayenge.
Sure. So do share your contact number and everything. I'll send you an official email through Assistant Dean, Co-Curricular and Professional Bodies from Chandigarh University too. So
sure.
This
That'll be great.
segment is our student branch segment. The entire things are being handled by students, presented by students, organized by students.
Right.
So they can actually going to learn what is actually the corporate life about, what is team building, what is leadership. So this is the crux. And the theme about Tech a Month is to give the roadmap. Like what I believe, being into computer engineer, that coding is not the only option. You have n number of variety of options. Like being a CSE student, I seriously don't like coding, but I'm really good with software engineering and databases. So if you have that right direction, you can achieve anything. So that is the theme all about, and really happy to host you again, especially in offline mode.
Sure. Thank you so much. I look forward to doing that.
Yeah, and congratulations and God bless you for your journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sugandha. I'll see you all later then. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Ishan.
Ishan, just stopping you for a minute. Can we have a photograph, all of us?
Yes.
Sure. Let's do that.
Everyone, please turn on your cameras ASAP. Yes, we can see you there. Yes. Okay, just a V sign. Jaldi.
Who is clicking the photo?
I'm clicking the photo.
Okay, sure.
That was great.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Ishan. Bye,
here.
Ishan. See you soon.
Thank you so much, guys.
Okay,
I'll see
bye-bye,
you guys
Ishan.
later. I have to go have some food, else I would have continued for longer.
Sure.
But I'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you for the valuable time. Bye-bye. Take care.